students, welcome. This is Dr. Mercado speaking. This is going to be the course orientation part 1 video. I am going to have 3 parts of the course orientation that I really want all of the students to listen to. That way they can be familiar with the course content. This is the first part of the orientation. In this video, I'm going to let you know a little bit about myself. The second part of the orientation video deals with Blackboard, and then the third one deals with Cengage, okay? So it is imperative that you listen to the short videos before you begin any of your assignments, okay? A lot of your questions are going to be answered in the course orientation videos. If you message me, if you call me with a question that is in the videos, I'm going to send you back to listen to my videos. I'm not going through all of this work so you can ignore my videos, okay? So it's very important that you follow the instructions and that you listen to all 3 course orientation videos, and then you can begin working on all of your assignments, okay? Now this orientation is for all of my students in the summer sessions, okay? Now, there are 3 summer sessions. Summer 1 begins June the 6th and runs through July the 8th. Summer 2 runs from July the 13th all the way through August the 12th. And then Summer 3 runs from June the 6th through August the 12th. I will be teaching in all 3 summer sessions, okay? So this orientation is for Summer 1, Summer 2, and Summer 3. I am not going to go into specifics about the actual course in itself. The orientations are more towards how to navigate Blackboard, how to navigate Cengage, and just general information about the course, structure, a little bit about myself. That way you get to know a little bit about who I am, my work experience, my education, and just the layout of the overall classes, okay? So, how are my courses structured? Okay, we will not be meeting at a particular time or date. All of my courses are asynchronous. So what does that mean? That means that students do not attend class during a specific time. Rather, I provide students with pre-recorded lectures and all of the necessary curriculum, materials, assignments that you can do on your own time. Now, this is very important. Even though that you're going to be working it on your own time, there are deadlines to be met. Okay, so students will attend classes for a set amount of time. Usually it's a week. I'll be posting all of the course materials, and then students need to access all of the information and complete all of the assignments within the established deadlines, okay? So this does not mean, well, I'm going to ignore week 1 and week 2 and I'll get started on it week 3. No, that's not how it works. It means that during week 1, you're going to go in there and you're going to do all of the assignments that I've instructed or referenced that needs to be completed during that week. And it's very important that you don't miss those deadlines. The resources are going to be provided for the entire week. You listen to my lectures, you read, you review PowerPoints, you get with me if you have any questions for that specific week, okay? And then once that week closes, then we start working on the assignments for the following week, okay? So, there's some pros and cons for asynchronous courses. They provide flexibility. I know a lot of students work, so they either work on their assignments really early in the morning, really late at night, or during the weekends. So it offers that flexibility if you work, if you have children, or whatever the case might be, okay? So students can engage in their courses where, when, and how they want, okay? Students in demanding circumstances in personal lives such as children, aging parents, or ill spouses, asynchronous courses allow them to schedule coursework around their lifestyle, okay? Now, there are some cons. Many students find asynchronous courses difficult to engage with due to the sense of distance that comes with these courses. I don't want you to feel distance from me. I am available. I have office hours every day. Even if it's not during my office hours, you can always send me an email, a pronto message, a Blackboard message, and I will try to get back with you as soon as possible, okay? I've provided students with my personal cell phone number. Now that, only use it if it's some kind of an emergency. But if you need to contact me, there's a lot of ways that you can reach out to me if you want to schedule an appointment or whatever the case might be, okay? If you have questions, let me know, okay? We're not going to have the live interaction because the course is asynchronous. I basically give you everything and then you work on it on your own time. So students may feel tedious or dull as they really don't have much engagement in the class. Now, that does not mean that you don't have the opportunity to form study groups, okay? If you know people in your class, or even if you don't know them, just say, hey, what about we create a study group? You either meet online, you meet at a library, whatever the case might be. I encourage students to get together, form study groups, help each other out, okay? Um, a main problem that I find with asynchronous courses is too much flexibility. Students have difficulty organizing themselves, okay? So they become not accountable for their work, and then they fall behind, and then they're struggling, okay? Students need to have a system in place to ensure they complete their coursework on time. Students need to be organized. They need to be aware of the deadlines, because we are not going to be extending those deadlines, okay? That I have very strict deadlines. It is critical that students complete the assignments by the established deadlines, okay? Now, this is a summer session. During a regular semester, I usually have group projects. Because it is a summer session, it becomes very difficult to have group projects due to time limitation. That will not be a major factor. I will not have any group projects for the summer session because of the time constraints. But I do want to encourage students, even though this is an asynchronous course, please get to know your classmates, create study groups, ask questions, maintain communication with me. If something is going on in your life that is not allowing you to complete your assignments timely, let me know what's going on. That way I can work with you, okay? Don't come to me the last day of school and say, well, miss, I didn't get to work on any of my assignments because of this, okay? Well, that's too late. If something's happening, let me know. That way me and you can create a game plan as to what is going to happen if you decide to stay in the class, okay? Now, what is the orientation content? This is the first orientation video, which is just a little overview about what's going to be coming in the following two videos, and it's going to provide you a little bit of information about myself. The second part of the orientation video that you're going to have deals with Blackboard. There, I'm going to go over the Blackboard layout, the Start Here module, the course content, messages, announcements, and the gradebook. The last part deals with Cengage. In my courses, we utilize Cengage to complete the majority of our assignments. You must purchase Cengage access to be able to access your homework, your quizzes, your tests, and your projects. Okay, so in that video, I'm going to go over what is Cengage, how to create an account in Cengage, how to access Cengage, the assignments, the gradebook, and the resources tabs. Okay, so now, for those of you that don't know me, this is a picture of myself. I've been a full-time instructor here at South Texas College since fall of 2014. Like most of you, I started my educational endeavor here at South Texas College. Back in the day, it was South Texas Community College. In May of 2001, I completed my accounting clerk certificate. Okay, I continued, and in August of 2004, I completed my Associates of Arts in Business Administration. I then transferred over to UTPA, which is now UTRGV. In 2006, I completed my bachelor's in accounting. I continued with my education. Now, mind you, okay, ever since I started going to school, ever since I graduated high school in 99, I was working. I was working way before that. I used to be a migrant worker, so I've been working maybe since I was like 9, 10 years old. I was a migrant worker for many years. I graduated high school, and then I started, going to college. I got married fairly young at the age of 18. And I started, working part-time. I used to work at HEB as a cashier, and I was going to school part-time, just like most of you, okay? So I do not come from a wealthy family. I'm a normal person, just like you. I was born in Reynosa, Mexico, okay? So I'm from Mexico. My family moved over here when I was fairly small. We were migrant workers. We were very poor. Okay, and I was the first one in my family to go to college. Okay, so everything is possible if you set your mind to it. Okay, so I started working at HEB. I started going to school part-time, and then of course I changed jobs. Throughout all of this time that I went to school, I was working. I worked at HEB. When I finished my associates, I moved from HEB and I started working at a maquiladora. I was working in McAllen and in Reynosa. After that, I moved. I worked there for about 2 years, and then I transitioned into banking. Okay. I started working as a loan accounting specialist. I was working full time. It was not giving me a lot of time to go to school. I was taking one or two classes, like some of you do, and I was just getting, kind of like discouraged. So I decided to transition to working part time. Um, I got demoted voluntarily. I said, you know what, I can no longer do this job. I need a part time job. So they were very flexible with me at the bank. They moved me to a location in Edinburgh, and I became a teller. I was working maybe 30 hours a week. And the university was very close, so it was very convenient for me. So I started off as a teller, and then I was working, and then going to school. I had two children in the process, so it became complicated. I understand how life happens. But I continued working. I then became a teller supervisor. I learned, I was given the opportunities in that particular branch to explore being a lending assistant, a personal banker, a teller, a lead teller. I did wire transfers. Finally, I graduated with my bachelor's degree in accounting in 2006. At that point, I felt wonderful. I felt that I could actually do now what I wanted to do, which was accounting. I applied at another bank because there was no positions available in the current bank that I was working at. And I started working in the accounting department for that other bank that I worked for 13 years. And then I started moving up. Okay. In the process, when I finished my bachelor's degree, I started working again full time. Okay. And it was more than full time. I was working maybe 60 hours a week. Okay. It was difficult. I took a little break because I had children. I had two biological children, and then I decided to adopt two more children. So I have four children. And then I decided to go back to school. I said, you know what? If I want to get a better position, I need to get more education. So I went back to school, and I started working towards my master's of accountancy. And finally, in December of 2013, I completed my master's. By that point in my career, I was a vice president at the bank. I was an operations project manager. I had transitioned from accounting to operations. I loved it. I loved my job. I was doing, I learned so many different aspects of banking. I'm very grateful for the opportunities provided. And then I decided to do a career change because of some personal issues with my children. And I came over to STC back in 2014. Okay. So I didn't study to be a teacher. I studied to be an accountant. Okay. So to me, it was an awakening. It was like, okay, it was something different. Okay. At the beginning, it took me a while to get accustomed to being a professor, but now I love being a professor. I love the interaction with my students. I like helping them. I like teaching my students what I love, which is accounting. So when I came to STC, I said, well, if I enjoy this so much, you know what? I'm going to go back to school, okay? Because you should never stop learning. So I went back to school, and I worked for many years in my PhD. Okay, so finally in November of 2020, I completed my Doctor's of Philosophy in Business Administration with specialization in organizational leadership from North Central University. Okay, so now I am Dr. Mercado. As you all know, I have over 13 years of experience in the banking sector with emphasis in accounting and operations. I used to manage the accounting department for a $2.3 billion bank. I supervised about 22, 23 individuals. I was in charge of the purchasing department. I was in charge of, preparing budgets, financial statements, reconciliations, everything that was related to accounting. I worked with it in the past. So I do have experience in the workforce. I'm not just, someone that graduated with a degree and I'm here now. No, I've actually worked not only in banking but in maquiladoras. I've worked like you, and it's amazing how much you learn like at HEB. So it's just it's been a process. You're not gonna get from point A to point B, in a year. It takes time. It takes effort. But the most important thing it takes is hard work, okay, and never giving up, okay. So, in this note, I also want to encourage all students. I'm very demanding and I accept that. I'm a very demanding person because I come from a background in business, and in business, we have to meet deadlines. Okay, we have to be organized, we have to, ensure that everything gets done. There is no, well, I'll do that tomorrow. If it was meant to be completed by a certain day, there are deadlines that need to be completed, paperwork that needs to be filed. If not, there's penalties for that. So I got accustomed to meeting my deadlines and being extremely organized. So I want to instill that into my students, make sure that they are familiar with, once they enter the workforce, that they are, always on time, that they complete all of their assignments on time, that they are responsible for their work, and that they submit quality work. Okay. Now, I am very strict with my deadlines, but I also understand that sometimes life happens. We have no control of what is going to happen tomorrow. Okay. If something happens that is out of your control, for example, your child gets sick and is in the hospital, your parents get sick, are in the hospital, you have a death in the family, you are sick, okay, you're pregnant and you're having issues with your pregnancy, you're involved in a car accident, whatever the case can be, okay? Let me know. Okay? Let me know so I can work with you. Okay? I am not gonna let you, or I'm not gonna fail you. I'm gonna, okay, this is going on. Okay, what can we do? When are you gonna be available? And how can I accommodate the assignments for you? Okay. Now, this being summer sessions, we have very limited time. We have what, about 4.5 weeks, 5 weeks for summer one and summer two. So we need to make sure that we get you up to date as soon as possible. But please communicate with me, okay? Now, I'm going to share a personal story with you of what happened to me right when the pandemic started, okay? And I'm sharing this with you so you know how I felt, and now this is why I understand how you feel when situations like this occur, okay? So when the pandemic started, I had my dad, and he was very sick. He was sick because he had diabetes, and they had just diagnosed him with liver cirrhosis. So they had given him 6 months to live, which I was okay with because we were already prepared. He was suffering, so he was going through this sickness. And on July the 6th of 2020, my father passed away because of his condition, right? Okay, so my dad passes away. 4 days later, okay, my mother-in-law passes away of a heart attack. Okay, that was unexpected. Okay, so 4 days later, after my dad's death, that happened on, my dad passed away on July the 6th. On July the 10th, my mother-in-law passed away. Okay, so we go through both burials, and then we start getting sick. Okay, my family starts getting sick. My husband's family starts getting sick. Everybody in my husband's family gets sick. So apparently, we picked up COVID in my mother-in-law's funeral. Okay, everybody in the family, all of his brothers and sisters got sick. So we all got COVID, and this was at the very beginning where nobody knew anything about or much about COVID. You know, um, and the one that took it the hardest was my husband. Okay, he was a little bit overweight, and he struggled. We went to the doctor. They gave him medications. He didn't get any better. I finally put him into the hospital. He didn't make it. Okay, on August the 6th, which was exactly 1 month after my dad's passing, my husband passed away. Okay, now during all of this time, I am working on my PhD. Okay, I am a PhD student. My husband passed away in August. I graduated with my PhD in November, okay, a couple of months later, okay? So I was going through a lot emotionally, okay, mentally, physically, because I had COVID too. I was very sick, okay? So what did I have to do? I had to notify my instructor, or she was more of an advisor, and I told her this is what's going on. I need some time. She worked with me. She put a hold on my doctoral because I was almost at the defense, portion of it. And she was very understanding. Okay, very understanding. So it gave me some time to recover. You know, and be able to continue with my PhD. Okay, so her giving me that flexibility and being so understanding, that is why, I see the importance of listening to students and having that communication, because you know what? I had no control of my dad, my mother-in-law, and my husband passing. That was out of my control, totally unexpected. Okay. And I'm here working on my PhD. I was very close to graduating, and I had to put it off a little bit to be able to focus on me. Okay. And it's okay to put a pause in your life. Okay. As long as you go back to it. Okay. You have to go back. If you need some time to breathe, to think things through, take that pause and then go back and get it done. Okay. So my husband passed away in August. I took a month off from school, and then I hit my books back again. I finished my PhD in November of 2020. Okay. So if something like that happens, or something similar, to where you're going through difficult situations, let me know. That way I can go ahead and, communicate with me, and we can work something out together. Find out the best solution for how we're going to tackle that specific problem. Okay. So now moving to what are we going to be doing in your class, Dr. Mercado? Well, my classes, I believe, are fairly easy if you follow my instructions. Okay. It is very important, and this is something that I want to stress a lot. Okay. Please print a copy of the syllabus. Okay. Make a folder for my class and print a copy of your syllabus. Okay. In your syllabus, you're going to find a schedule, a weekly schedule of everything that needs to happen. The deadlines, the assignments that need to be completed. Okay. Keep that handy. As you're working those assignments, scratch them off. That way you know that you've completed all of the assignments for the week. Okay. Why? Because there's deadlines to be met, and I don't extend those deadlines unless it's a very important reason that you didn't meet those deadlines. You having work is not a valid excuse, because you knew you had to work when you signed up for my class. So you working is not a valid excuse for not meeting my deadlines. You should have organized your time around your work schedule to make sure that you completed my assignments. Okay. An emergency, like I stated, is a family ailment, someone passes away, there's a car accident involved, something unexpected happens. Work is not unexpected. Okay. So you need to make sure that you organize your time and you say, okay, this is my work schedule, and this is how I'm going to fit Dr. Mercado's assignments into that schedule. Okay. So organize your time each week to ensure that you have enough time to complete all of your assignments. Please do not skip the reading part. Students want to go straight into the quizzes and the homework, and how are they going to do that if they don't know what the chapter is about? Reading is critical, so make sure that you read each chapter before you begin working on any of your assignments. Okay? I provide students with PowerPoints. What I recommend is that you download or print those PowerPoints and that you utilize them to take notes as you read. I provide lectures. My lectures are not about the chapter. My lectures are problem solving. Okay, there's a lot of problem solving in my class, so my lectures are problem solving. I'm going to show you how to complete specific problems. Okay, I will not show you how to do every single problem. That defeats the purpose. But I will show you how to do some of the problems. That way you can have an idea of how to complete your assignments. Okay, once you read, once you review the PowerPoints, and once you listen to my lectures, you can begin working on your assignments. It is very important that you do not fall behind. It's a summer session. It's going to go quickly. Okay. If you encounter any type of an emergency, please let me know. That way we can work something out. Okay. Okay. If you have questions about the course, please feel free to contact me. The preferred way to communicate with me is through Blackboard messages, because that way I know the specific class that you're in. If you need to speak with me outside of my office hours, please let me know so we can schedule a date and time that best works for you. Okay. Now my summer 2022 office hours are Monday through Thursday from 10 to 11 a.m. And my office hours are going to be online. Okay. Um, and just reiterating, please stay organized. It is very important that you do not fall behind. I don't grant extensions. I don't grant makeups of missed assignments. If you missed it, I'm so sorry. Make sure that you don't miss any future assignments. Okay. That is basically it. If you decide to send me, this is just something that I was thinking of. If you decide to send me an email to my STC email, okay, please make sure to include your name and what class you're in. I'm teaching multiple classes, okay? That way I know, oh, well, this is a student in my introduction to accounting and my principles of financial accounting and my payroll class. I need to know what class you're in. That way I can know what I'm dealing with here. And also, if you have a question about a specific problem, please provide me that problem number. Don't just say, hey, miss, I have a question about calculating, federal income tax. Okay, what is it that you're referring to? What are you looking at? So I can be able to answer your question. Okay. I look forward to an awesome summer session. Make sure that you listen to the other two orientation videos that I have. And until the next video. Okay, thank you.